I will say I have experienced this quite a bit, but I would consider one-sided
Yeah,
friendships.
that's what it's really about. You feel like you in that friendship by yourself
By your damn self, and they only join in that friendship
when
when
it's
it's
convenient
convenient
for
for them.
them. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I am tired of being people's convenience.
I am not a store. I am not 7-Eleven.
All right, so we getting started with the weekly Reddit.
Weekly Reddit, weekly Reddit.
Do. All right, so this one is just called "It's for the Best."
Okay, sounds like something. Okay.
Right, because that could literally be anything.
Sounds like something.
It says, I, 20 non-binary,
Mm-hmm.
met a guy, 23 male, who for this post will be referred to as Zach.
Okay.
We met in a therapy group in December of 2022 and got along great.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up leaving the group for a different one in August of 2023 because my availability changed due to going to community college. The group I left let us be in a group chat with each other with other members in the group, which I really wish wasn't allowed looking back. And because of this, Zach had my phone number and he texted me sometime after school year, after the school year started, and said he wishes me good luck in college and that he's willing to keep in touch. And he's willing to keep in touch. Man, I wish people
Okay.
in these Reddit groups use periods.
So hard to decipher. But you like, is this a comma or a period?
Yeah. He also sent a friend request on Snapchat, and later we had each other on Instagram. Things were going all right.
Mm-hmm.
However, I started getting super attached to him. I wanted to text him every day and got anxious when he took too long a time to respond.
Mm.
Also, because I was so used to talking about my shit around him, I was still open about it and craved his support. I thought I was hiding the fact that I was attached pretty well,
Don't
but
know
looking
how.
back, I was definitely not. In January of this year, he stopped responding to messages. I got super worried in a panic. I messaged his best friend on Instagram, and when there was no response, I realized I could have just called him.
Yeah, you could. I'm glad you
Uh,
realized that.
but when I did, it went to voicemail without ringing.
Dang,
Hoping
he
it was
blocked you. Okay.
Hoping it was just dead, I had my brother let me borrow his phone and I
Mm.
called Zach, and this time the phone rang. He didn't pick up, so I left a voicemail. That night, Zach finally texted me stating that he no longer wanted to pursue a friendship or be in contact with a former member of the group. And while there were multiple reasons for this decision, my behavior, which I said I thought I was hiding well, was one of them. He also expressed how unhappy he was for me contacting his friend and
Mm-hmm.
calling him through a number that he didn't have, which I totally understand and I know I was in the wrong. Now, here's the main reason I'm sharing this. Before this went down, I noticed his Instagram profile looked weird, like deactivated. I knew he had done that before, so I thought it was him taking another social media break. After a last conversation, I was waiting for it to be reactivated so I could block him. They should put in parentheses. I had already deleted our DM history, so I was unable to use that to help. Yesterday it still seemed like it was deactivated, but I realized there could be a chance that this entire time he had me blocked. um Made a new account, and turns out I was in fact blocked. At first I was really upset. He had mentioned before that he hated blocking people because he felt like it was mean. I knew it was pretty much my fault things ended, but I still felt I was still
Mm.
dumbfounded. I was starting to feel myself spiral, but quickly snapped
Mm,
out of it because I realized there literally would be zero difference whether or not he had blocked me besides the fact I would have blocked him, making it so that one of us would have been blocked by the other no matter what. Also, since I've been able to detach myself from him, I've realized that honestly, if he hadn't messaged me after I left the group, I wouldn't have bothered keeping in touch. And honestly, he would have been so, I think she meant wouldn't have been so important to me, but she put would have been. Um, Even though I believe he is an amazing person. I feel like I'm very much better off with not having him in my life due to how tricky it was to change my interaction with him from a therapy group setting to a regular friendship. I do miss him still, but like I said, it's
mm.
good to not contact him.
First of all, this person is delusional.
100%.
Delusional. My first of all, he was okay with talking to you because he thought you was normal from the group. And then after talking to you outside the group, he go, "Oh, this is why she was in the group." And then
Oh, that's why you were
and then
there.
because he knows your emotional history, he didn't want to hurt your feelings, but you weren't catching the hint. And then to keep on, well, I know that was wrong, but I'm like digging deeper and deeper when you see this man is trying to vacate, digging deeper and deeper and deeper in your one-sided relationship that you have. And he just thought he was somebody that he would probably text once a week or some shit and
I
keep
just
it moving. Like you're doing the most. But nobody
I just find it real
texts.
odd that this woman said, since I've been able to detach
And you
from
didn't
him.
detach from
Like,
shit
girl, you didn't detach from a damn thing. You created a fake account to go see if he blocked you and then got mad when you found out he did.
because if you actually were detached, you would have never even known
Never
that
would
you
even you
were
wouldn't have even thought about it. Cause
blocked.
honestly, if both of y'all are detached from each other, there's no need to block each other because you're not gonna reach out to each
You
other.
don't care.
Because you don't care. That's detachment. But you cared so much and you had to know if he blocked you that you created a fake account to see if he blocked you.
Same way you call from your brother's number. But he know you so crazy, he didn't pick up. He said, "Nah, this girl calling me from a different number. I'm gonna let it go to voicemail. I ain't even gonna pick it up."
Now, I could give, well, I can't even say she because she's non-binary. So I don't
They,
actually, okay, so I'm like, so I don't actually know how to refer to her.
they.
Uh, but they knew, like, it's just
It's very
so,
tricky. It's like
yeah.
you knew they were the Zach was giving signs that he was not interested in you. And you like he was trying to be friends. He only now I do agree with what they said about they don't feel like the group should let people who ain't in the
Oh,
group message. Oh,
100%. Why would
yeah,
you let them?
the group need to let that go. I do agree with you there,
Now,
but
here's the thing though.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I could give them some grace if they didn't realize their shortcomings.
But they know,
But they
they
knew what was going
know.
on the whole time and still did all the stuff.
And then while putting caveat, I know this is
Literally
crazy.
every since they was like, yeah, I know it was wrong, but here's what I did.
You like person, what are you doing?
I'm just like, okay.
What are you doing? If you know, when you know better, you got to do better.
When you know better, you got to do better. And I say that as somebody that knows better and also does not do better.
But I don't stalk people. But then again, it also stems from whatever emotional issues they have that they were in that group in the first place.
Like I said, and I've
But
said on this podcast before, I have now, there is a fake Facebook profile out there that I created. I don't remember what the name is, don't remember what email address
you
I
did it for
used for it.
investigation. This person is just being batshit crazy.
I did it because the damn dude told me after what knowing each other for years, I had to disappear. I wanted to make sure this man wasn't dead in a ditch somewhere.
It wasn't the same. Like it wasn't a one-sided thing the entire now first no, I'll give them credit. At first, the other person, Zach, was trying to be their friend.
Yeah,
But then Zach realized that they were crazy. And then Zach was like, ooh,
which is
you a
smart.
little crazy. Let me
which is smart.
block you and step away.
Back away slowly and quietly.
And then, you know, Zach was really trying to protect their feelings. He really was.
I
He
just
really
read this and I was
was.
like, am I because the comments was all in her favor. You know, this situation was so painful for you.
Which is foolishness. Imagine, the thing is, at the end of the day, while they view it that way or not, they were Zach's stalker. And imagine what Zach went through having a stalker.
Yeah,
Like, I.
this comment says, while this situation was painful for you, you've come to a really grounded and self-aware place.
No, no,
She
they have
was
not.
always grounded and self-aware. It just sounded like she didn't give a fuck. Crazy people know when they crazy.
The thing is, I don't even think that they're crazy. They get too emotionally attached to people who are not returning it. And I'm sure that is the reason they were in the group in the first place.
I mean, yes, we don't know what's going
Like,
on in her
we don't
life that
know.
caused her to
We
be
don't we
this
don't know why
way.
they did that.
But
But
my thing is the biggest issue here and why I hope she's still in some kind of group
well,
is
they said they were in a different group now. But I'm thinking, where you got time for the different group if you stalking this man and you in school
first of
and
all,
you probably got a job, where you got time to stalk Zach at? I
if you
don't.
in another group,
Oh, where you got
why
time?
didn't you have time for your original group? Because you said you
They
left
said it
one
was
group.
a hour, like they had different times. Like the other group had different times than the original group, so they had to switch groups due to schedule confliction.
She didn't say that. She
They
just said
did say that.
it says I ended up leaving the group for a different one in August because my availability changed.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
they
yeah.
gotta.
Because she was in community college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had to get. I don't know why they specified it was community college. Why
I
didn't
was
they
wondering
just
that
say
too. I was like,
college?
does it matter that it was
It's
community?
not any less college. I don't know why you did that,
I'm like, community
but
colleges still can
you could have
you
just said because I
you
went
can
to
get a decent
college.
education at a community college.
I don't know
And
what
you
that
could
was
get a
about.
lot of electives in community college that can transfer over to these better colleges, I guess. Like, nothing wrong with a community college degree.
There's a lot of people with community college degrees that make six figures if you
if
play your cards right.
you
Don't sleep
never
on
mind.
community college. But yeah, that was. I said, Why aren't they detailing that? Why couldn't they just say college?
I don't know.
But anywho,
But yeah,
that's beside the
I
point.
was like, she's clearly aware of, like, I'm not saying she's not aware. She is. She knows that this is her issue. But it also seems like she lets herself get the best of herself, I guess, and she doesn't stop herself from doing
I
these
don't know. It's
actions.
just their emotions are stronger than their logic, and I think that is like her brain is going. I mean, their brain is going. This is crazy. But then their heart is like, let's talk.
But he might respond.
And then their brain is going, this is crazy. And I can see how that would be a frustrating place to be.
As somebody, I'm not gonna say I ain't been there. I've been at some points where I was just like, my heart is telling me to do this, but my brain is like, girl, chill out.
You better not.
And then I do.
Because,
But
my
I've never
inner
done anything
mind
like
is me
this.
with a sandal. Like, I'm going to get the back of your neck if you do this stupid shit. That's what my logic is saying. Is there with a sandal ready to slap me in the back of the neck. But my heart is, but let's do it.
You never know what the results are gonna be. You never know
Calamity.
unless you try.
Logic is the one you need to follow. I
I'm
don't care
telling
what
you.
no one says.
I be locking my emotions up. They locked up tight down in the
Locked up,
solitary.
won't let me out.
I don't like you. Anyway, so that's the weekly Reddit. So I wanted to do something fun, or at least I
Yeah,
think it's fun.
let's do it.
And I don't know what put this in my head, but I figured we'd try it. Try it, you'll like it.
Maybe.
Uh, and I think it was
Yay.
somebody going over like the cheesiest pickup lines they ever heard. And I
I
was
can't
just
believe
like,
people are doing those. Like who
and I thought, what is the cheesiest pickup line I've ever heard? And I can't, I do know that I've heard one, and I remember this was years ago because I remember posting it on Facebook because
Oh, you should have dig
I put what
deep.
the pickup line was, and I just remember saying, I'm gonna need you to go and try that on somebody else. But I can't remember what it was. I just remember thinking, ew.
I just like the thing is the pickup lines that tickle my fancy
Mhm.
are ridiculous. They're
What do you mean
not
by ridiculous?
sexy at
Oh,
all. They are
are they like
ridiculous.
borderline dad jokes or something?
Yes, because that's me as a person. I'm like, oh, you're funny. I might fuck with you because you're funny. Because some of these I seen, they just made me giggle. So I liked them because they make me giggle. They're cheesy.
They
It,
are super
but the
cheesy.
thing is, I think it being cheesy is what I like about it. Is that odd?
Nah, because
I
people like
think,
dad jokes too because
yeah,
they're
I think the
cheesy.
cheesiness is what's endearing to me. If you come up trying to be too sexy, I'm like, what is this? Okay, LL, get away from me. But I appreciate some little satire, a little fun, a little sarcasm, a little fun.
Whatever.
What's one of yours?
Um, yeah, so I asked Jay to come with
And I
5.
got motive vibe. I'm just gonna have
Oh,
a
do
good
you?
time.
You just gonna have a good time. Um, so
Because
I
they're so ridiculous and they bring me joy. Give me one of yours. Give me one.
oh, this one is not it's not the cheesiest one I've ever heard, but this one says, uh, I believe in following my dreams. Can I have your Instagram account?
That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. That's
Now,
cute.
I'm not gonna lie. So I want us to do this as if our celebrity crush gave us these pickup lines. Cause I
First
ain't
of
gonna even lie to you. If
all,
Bay Chance to
it
say
don't
that to
matter what he
me,
said. You be
it
down.
really don't.
It don't matter.
Bay Chan could come to me and go, Uba Gaba Dooba Doo. And I would be
Scooby
like,
Dooby Doo. And I would be thinking,
and I'd be like, yep, taken. Let's go. But yeah, I thought that one was cute.
see, that was cute. The first one I seen that made me laugh was call me Beyonce because I'm crazy in love. Girl, I would start cracking the hell up.
Yeah, and if somebody said that to me, I'd go,
You cannot be serious.
like you tried it.
But I like dad jokes men. As you know, I can't help it. They have a little pull on my little heart.
Uh,
What
call me a cyclops because I've had my eye on you all night. I'm like, but
foolish.
in this scenario, you still have 2 eyes though.
Cyclops got one eye.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Even though you had your eye on me, you still have 2 of them. So, so how are you still
He said,
Cyclops?
call me a cyclops. Girl, you ruining it.
I'm
Okay.
just saying,
Quit
a
ruining
Cyclops has
it.
1 eye. See, that's what I'm saying. If somebody was to say that to me, I'd be like,
And he will walk away like, never mind. Just never mind. Never mind.
not
God
never mind.
damn.
You ruined it. I hate you.
Basically.
And I would get such a laugh out of
I
that.
know you would. Ooh, this next one. It says, you're the type of person I want to divulge my family trauma to.
I'll be like, no, thank you. I'm sorry. I got my own trauma that I'm dealing with. I don't want to deal with yours too.
Girl, it's just the thing is the foolishness of what lures me in is so foolish. I'm like, what family trauma you got? We can share because mine might be worse than yours, but we can share and find out. At least I know up front.
If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. I'd be a what?
Okay, so this next one, it did make me laugh. It's so foolish. It says, my name isn't Elmo, but you can tickle me anytime you want.
No.
I'm like, get the hell away from me. Girl, they make me giggle.
Um,
Oh.
are you the moon? Because you got me howling.
Ooh, okay. Okay, man at the karaoke bar,
Right?
come through. And then this one, it's just so foolish. I love my bed, but I'd rather be in yours.
Ooh, now if he looked good enough, I'd be
That
like,
could
I'd rather
work.
you
If
be
he
in
was
mine
fine enough, that could work.
too. Let's see. Kiss me if I'm wrong, but the earth is flat, right? I'm like, I ain't kissing you, and you know it ain't flat.
Mono is real. Says, saw you're a foodie. I know a few things you could taste.
Ooh.
Mm.
Depending on who said that to me, I'd be like, oh, okay. Um, oh. I was feeling a little off today, but you turned me on again.
Turn me on, let me hug you. Boy, if I was drunk enough, that would work.
Right?
And then this one just made me laugh. Are you a bank loan? Because you have my interest.
Well, this one will really get you.
You go, ooh, accounting talk.
It says, hello, I'm James. Let's bond.
Cute. That's cute.
I would be so terrible at giving pickup
Girl,
lines.
I can't do it. I wouldn't know what to do.
Like I would say it. So
And I'll
literally,
be laughing. I can't.
no, I would say it. I just realized I don't have my glasses on. Damn it. But uh I would say it like this one. I say, uh, they say nothing lasts forever. So would you be my nothing? And then I would
Ooh.
I wouldn't be able to continue to stand there. I would have to instantly just walk away. I would be so damn embarrassed. I would literally say it and then turn around and like just speed walk
Which will
away.
be more awkward than what you said.
In my head, it's just like, get out, get out, get out. You said it, don't go.
Ooh, or this one.
And then I act like my friends dared me to do it.
Girl, how old are we? Okay. I like this one. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're 9 and I'm the one you need. Ooh.
Girl, something wrong with tossing. Ooh.
Girl, I would have such a time. And then this other one I have. Give me one. What's your other one? I think I got one more, then that's it.
It says, I'm not a mathematician, but I've been told I'm good with numbers. How about you give me yours so I can prove it?
That one ain't bad. That one ain't
It ain't
bad.
bad, but it's a
That's a
little
little
too
snap.
long. It's a little too
It was a
long.
little long. I done lost interest.
I was like, okay, you
And
was talking
this
about math
one,
and stuff. If we drinking, all right, what are we talking about? You about to ask me what 9
I
times 52 is?
don't know. And then this one, I would flirt with you, but I'd rather seduce you with my awkwardness.
And awkward is what it would be.
That is not a pickup line. That's just true.
Exactly. I'm like, I ain't even trying to pick you up. It's just literally a fact. I have social awkwardness and here it
I was
is.
like, I can't take sexy pickup lines serious. Like, I can not take them serious. I can't. I'm like, what are you doing? Luckily, I ain't got to deal with that because I don't want to.
Aside from being sexy, what do you do for a living? Go home. That's what I'm about to do.
I'm just glad people use pickup lines. Like, I'm sorry.
Are you salt because you are sodium fine?
Now I get some snaps for that one. Like, look at you.
Even in zero gravity, I would still fall for you.
See, these are fun. This is some at a bar, at some hole in the wall bar. You just having a good time, and some
Oh,
45-year-old man walk up to you with that mess.
hi, my name is Microsoft. Can I crash at your place tonight?
I thought he was gonna say, "Can I have a word?" See, that would have
Oh,
went
that would have been good. See, that was a missed
That would have
opportunity.
went
That was a missed opportunity.
off. That was good.
That was a missed opportunity. Nah, but they just said, "Can I crash?" Because you know Microsoft always
It is,
crashing.
but that the other one was better.
Oh yeah, can I have a word?
Well,
Look at you. All right.
girl, I'm hot
It's hot as
because we
fuck.
drank that. We took them shots that taste like nail polish remover. That's why we hot. Anywho,
Girl, don't knock shit down. We already did that last episode. It was nightmare. And that whole episode got two of them just sitting on the side. Ugh. chaotic our lives.
Oh,
Hopefully
every
y'all's
day.
is not as chaotic as ours.
Oh, I hope it ain't.
Anywho, friendship burnout.
Mm, that's
So,
real.
ain't it
Let's
though?
talk about something serious now.
Have y'all ever dealt with friendship burnout? First of all, let's go ahead and define
Mm-hmm.
friendship burnout.
Because it's real. It is a thing.
So, what is friendship burnout? It is a state where you feel emotionally drained and detached from a friendship due to prolonged stress, unresolved conflicts, mismatched expectations, or an imbalance in the relationship. Essentially, experiencing exhaustion from the demands of a friendship that isn't fulfilling or supportive.
Sound like it's just a lack of communication is what is given to
But
me.
Jay, how many times, how many Reddits have we read
That was this situation
that was this
exactly.
exact situation where people weren't communicating with said friend?
But it's like I said, it's two sides to every story. Like I said, maybe there was a time where she was the one footing the bill because you didn't have no money. Now it's your turn and you mad, but she only been broke for 1 year and you was broke for 4. Let's look at both sides of the story.
Well, tell me about a time where you felt friendship burnout. How did you notice it?
It's only one time,
What
and I
happened?
told you it was about that girl that lived in my house.
Okay. Was it did you start noticing because of like resentment because you felt she was taking advantage of you?
Before then, I loved her, thought nothing negative about her. That's why I let her in my house. I don't just let people live in my house. At that time, I was a single girl with no kids living my best life. I loved living alone. I didn't want a roommate. That's why I deliberately did not have one. So I was like, okay. So when she came to me in a situation, her and her girlfriend got kicked out of their apartment. And I was like, how? It's two of y'all and y'all both can work and there's no children here. I don't understand. I got kicked out of a 1 bedroom apartment. But anywho, so she wanted to live with me and I said, okay. Mind you, this friend has always had stable employment and everything. So I didn't think I just thought she was going through a rough patch in life. So ever since I met her in high school, she's had a job. So she's never somebody who hasn't worked or never footed her own bill. So I didn't think anything about letting her in my house.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
apparently,
Mm-hmm.
this girlfriend had taught her the ways of the lazy, and I don't know what
The
happened.
ways of the lazy. Okay.
The girl was dang near not even the same person that I knew anymore. Right. So she came in, she was unemployed and she had no money. And I took, since she was my friend, I bought her a cell phone, paid her cell phone bill so she can get out. So when you can't get a job, they can't contact you.
Right.
So
That's
I got
true.
her a cell phone, paid the cell phone bills, letting her live in my house for
Hold
free.
on, you
Didn't
paid the
ask.
cell phone bill?
Yes, I paid it in advance for 3 months
Girl,
because after that you are young.
you a real one.
But mind you, this is somebody that's been a good friend to me. Then, and we were friends for a long time before this happened. It's not like this was somebody I knew for a year, then that happened. Like we
Okay.
met like sophomore year in high school, and this is like when we're adults in our 20s. So I've been knowing her for a long time when this happened. And we was younger, my mom refused to let me get a job, so I was the broke friend, and she paid for me and stuff. So I said, okay, it's my turn to return the favor.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think anything about it. And then I realized she just planned on living in my house.
Forever?
Girl, I was through when I got a bill with her name on it and my address. I said, girl, are you not, is this your hospital collections bill with my address? Ma'am, I didn't even give you permission. And then, oh, it gets worse. So then I was like, okay. So then she's like, well, I don't have no food. And I was like, okay, I'll get you some. I let her eat all my food, whatever,
Oh, but
right?
don't you work?
Not no more, remember?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
And then one of the things picked me off. So her period came, right? Of course, she had no money.
Oh,
I
oh,
bought her
oh.
some stuff. You not there? She had to complain about the stuff. It's not the bread I get. I said, you ain't got no money. You got to take whatever the
Don't
hell
she
I
know the
give you.
phrase beggars can't be
And
choosy?
that's why I told her. I said, you
I
gonna have
hate
to
it when a beggar be
take.
trying to be choosy.
Now you got standards. Have some standards when it comes. You get some shit for yourself. But anywho, and I was like, okay, that irritated me. And then the bill, and I was like, okay. And then it reached a point where the said girlfriend, where they both got kicked out together, start coming over. Girl, I came off work. That girl was in my parking spot.
Mm, mm, mm. And I would have called a tow truck.
I went and I said, your friend gonna have to move.
I would have called the tow truck
Your friend gonna have to
and I
move.
would have sat out there until that tow truck got there.
And I said, "No." I said, "Look, she can come over if that's fine." I said, "But for one, if somebody gonna be at my house, you gotta tell me you don't have the authority to just invite people to my house. Secondly, she damn for sure can't park in my parking spot. Her ass gonna have to fucking walk, right?" But mind you, this the same girlfriend. I said, "Well, how come you ain't living at her house? Where's she staying at? She at her mama house. Her mama don't know she gay. Mind you, the girl's a full blown stud. I think her mama knows she's gay. She got another girlfriend over there, and it ain't you, right?" And so I was like, she's a full blown stud. I think her mother knows that she's gay. Think her mother is full aware
She's
and
a
full
full blown
supportive of the
stud.
situation. And so, but then I realized she had no plans to get no job or nothing. She just thought she was gonna live in my house.
And so you just built resentment up and you just like,
You know, I just had a conversation because I would ask her, I'm like, okay, so how the job search going? Like, this was a weekly thing I would ask her about.
mm-hmm.
Like, where'd you apply to? Do you need me to take you to an interview? Do you need bus money to get to an interview? What you need, I
So
got
when did you
you.
notice the friendship burnout?
When she just thought she was gonna live in my house, I was like, this is month 2, mind you. This was not a quick departure. This was like month 2. When I was like, oh, she thinks that I'm gonna be taking care of her. Like, I have children and I do not.
And there's a reason you
Oh,
don't.
and it made me so sad because I genuinely loved her as a person. Broke my heart, but she had to go. So then I just was like, hey, girl, love you, but this friendship is null and void because you took advantage of my friendship.
I
And
can't, well, not can't. I definitely have experienced friendship burnout. Um but oddly enough, I haven't experienced it often. Typically because I guess maybe my friends is the one that gets burned out because usually usually they the ones cut off the communication.
they're like, girl, this girl too much. Goodbye.
I guess you know your future.
God dang.
I mean, at this point, only the males have stuck around.
No, I'm
Well, I know, yeah.
in.
But
Look at me,
I'm talking
I'm
about
in.
once we get to that 10-year mark,
But the thing is, most people don't have that many friends. I'm a weird exception to that rule.
like I said,
But
I have friends that I've had for 10 plus years. I've known Nate for more than 10 years. My friend from Chicago, he's he's a male. And I've known him since I was in high school and we're still friends. It's literally just the females.
I don't know, women are emotional though.
Yeah, I tend to think more logically than women are given credit for. And I do end up with some emotional friends, and I don't know
Well,
how.
the thing
And emotion
is,
and logic tends to just be like oil and water because they will do some shit, and I'll just be like, "Why would you do
and
that?"
this where people, here's what I'm gonna say. People don't like it. It's controversial. Zodiac signs matter. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. I don't care because when has it steered me wrong? Never.
Well,
Never has it steered me wrong.
when it comes to zodiac signs, I'm not gonna say that I'm fully on
I would
board with
never not
them.
be somebody's friend because they're zodiac sign. But when they start doing things that are characteristic,
Like I do think that based off of what I've seen about Virgo, which is me, I do fit the bill.
and I do
I
too
am
sometimes.
I
Sometimes, not all the time.
You are a Gemini through and through.
Sometimes.
Whatever.
Cause some of them things I'm like, I don't be doing that. I don't know who's doing that, but it ain't me.
Girl, I send you so every last one of them I cross, I'll be like, yep, that sure is Jade.
I am
It sure
flighty.
is. And just because you be talking about some you ain't the two-faced one, you are the two-faced because you have said out your own mouth, if my friend decide they want to disappear, I'm gonna let them. And I'm just gonna live my little happy life and
How's
not
that
care.
two-faced it?
Because if you was still the same person, you'd be like, what's going
I
on?
would, but then when I don't get an answer, I go, well, guess we ain't friends
And
no
that
more.
face changed real quick.
That's based off of logic and fact. They go, well, if
I didn't
I
say
ask,
it wasn't based off logic
hey,
and fact. I just said it happens.
if I go, hey, are we still friends? And they go, basically by ignoring me, I go,
That face changes and you go,
guess we
okay.
not friends no more. And then I just go on about my day.
But yes,
That don't
I'm
make me
definitely a
two-faced.
perfectionist. I have high expectations for myself and my friends. I'm very logical more than emotional. I tend to be very petty, like they say Virgos are.
Boy, petty boot.
They actually
Next,
say Virgos are mean.
you
And they
need
say
to
the meaner that
have.
they are to you, the more they actually like
When
you.
I tell you there needs to be a picture of a goddamn cowboy boot next to your face because you're petty boot.
And she better not put no cowboy boot next to my face. She better not do that. The editor better not do that because I can
I
see her
got my
doing that.
boots on the ground.
I told you don't sing that song no damn more. She been singing that damn song all day.
It was she should put a boot. Love it. I hope it happens.
No. Anywho, they say that the meaner a Virgo is to you, the more they actually like you. And I will say that's true. But I call it tough love. I just be
Is it love or is it just tough? And this is the
It's tough love because people might be thinking I be being mean to you, but I be keeping your delusions in check.
the messed up part is I'm mean to you too. I just do it in private.
I don't do mean stuff to you in public.
First of all, we not mean to each other. We just say shit. I think a lot of people they don't like they're too soft with their friends. Like if your mouth, I'm like, girl, close your funky ass mouth, and you would do the same to me. Like, girl,
Just like
your
that day
mouth
when I saw
stink.
that damn honey bun icing on your face. What the
Girl, how
girl?
did I not feel
I don't know
that?
how the fuck you didn't feel
And I'm
that.
glad somebody said something. 'Cause these motherfuckers will let me walk
Instantly
around
came
all
in
day
there and
with a
saw
honey
that.
bun.
I'm like, it's gonna stick out on like a sore thumb. It's white on black background. So I'm
Like,
like, girl,
I didn't
clean your
even feel it.
goddamn mouth off.
That's how much I was into that snack. I didn't even feel that shit on my
I
face.
was like, what the
Glad somebody said something. I was like, this been on my I ate that honey bun an hour ago. These motherfuckers been letting me walk around with icing on my face.
all I want to say is that they don't really
Really
care
care
about
about us.
us.
Showed it. At least somebody told me. But
I was like, oh my God, clean your damn mouth.
I'm like, what? That's why I realized them honey buns was a problem. But anywho,
Oh my God, literally looking like Dave Chappelle.
boy, I'm Tyrone.
I was like, oh my God, she got it all over her fucking
Boy, I was
face.
addicted to them honey buns with 90 milligrams of sugar. I said,
Girl.
no, there was 90 grams of carbs in each serving of the
And the
motherfucker.
honey bun is 2.5 servings.
The devil know how to get you.
Don't he? Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
Anyway, but yeah, so for me, friendship burnout is now I will say I have experienced this quite a bit, what I would consider one-sided
Yeah,
friendships.
that's what it's really about. You feel like you in that friendship by
By
yourself
your damn self. And they only join in that friendship
when
when
it's
it's
convenient
convenient
for
for them.
them. Hmm.
And I was like, I am tired of being people's convenience.
I am not a store. I am not 7-Eleven.
Even though the manager at one of the managers at my job used to call my desk the convenience store.
It's because you like snacks.
I do. I love me a good snacky snack.
And you
And I
share.
actually mean snacks and not whole
And you
meals.
share the snacks. Depending, because you're petty,
Although
but
that time where AJ hid my damn Laffy Taffies, I low key was pissed because I was looking for them damn Laffy Taffies. He hid them. we
like
used
I
to
know how to get
we used to
her.
do stuff to each. We used to hide each other stuff all the time when we was at the old office. But yeah, one sided friendships. I like, and I've said it before on here. My
Mm-mm.
friends now, you, Abby, you and Abby, I told both of y'all I am done with one-sided friendships. If I ever sense that this is a one-sided friendship, I'm going to be done
It's
with
just
it.
exhausting and sad. It's
It
both
is.
things.
Because you sitting there, you reaching out, then they respond. But if you don't say nothing, they have nothing to say to you.
You're like, oh, okay.
Like you could literally disappear and they be like, oh yeah, I remember her.
What's she up to?
Like, girl,
Ma'am,
that's your friend.
ma'am, you have my number.
Have it. You know the directions to my house.
Just call first. Don't just show
Yeah,
up.
don't just show up at my house unless you actually think I'm legit dead. then show up and do it, or at least, or have somebody come check on
Just
me
call the police to come.
and do it. What do they call it?
A wellness
Wellness
check.
check. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Cause I'll do it in the I'll bust in here. I don't know. I'll bust in here.
Girl, no, you wouldn't. Let me tell you what she did.
I ain't do nothing.
It was the first day that we were supposed to record,
I did nothing.
and me and her throughout the week was talking about how we was gonna record today.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, the day of, we text each other, made sure we were still on. Now, I am baking cupcakes for my nephew's graduation party. So my hands are busy. She texts me and says, I'm on my way. I see the text, but again, I am balls deep in flour, sugar, all the stuff for baking. So I don't respond. So then I'm pulling cupcakes out the oven now. And I'm like, why is Jade still not here?
Child.
So I text her and I'm like, I don't even remember what I said. Something along, where are you? What you doing? Or something like that. And she was like, girl, I'm at home. And I was like, excuse the hell out of me. What do you mean you at home?
Well, yeah, if you don't
She was like, well,
respond.
you didn't say nothing, so I went home. And I was like, so
That's
what if I was in here dead?
I would have realized soon enough and would have called the
Girl,
police.
yeah, whenever you decided, is she ever gonna message me about not showing up at her house?
At about 9 o'clock, I'd have been like, I wonder if she all right. Because my brain, well, maybe she took a little nap. I'll go home. She'll text me when she
Now,
wake up.
mind you, I've never canceled on Jade. And if I did take a nap, I have actually texted Jade and said, hey, I'm about to go take me a quick nap.
See, I'm too understanding. I said, maybe she got busy. I'll just go home. She'll
Oh,
text me.
and by the way, Jade has a passcode to get in my house without me even being here.
Which is true.
I was like, you have so many options that you
Boy,
could
you
have
was
taken.
mad. I could tell. I said, oh, she mad at me.
I was like, you have so many options you could have taken, but you chose to go back home.
I lived down the street. Home was not on the other side of town.
Still, though, that's
And
even worse
I
because
was
you
like,
could have stopped here on your way home.
I said, you know what, maybe she taking a nap.
I could see if it was on the other side of town, but I'm literally 5 minutes from
I
you.
said, she'll text me when she wake up. I wasn't even mad. I was like, she'll
And
text me when
I
she
think
wake
I
up.
had told her that I had to bake cupcakes for my nephew.
You probably did.
And I was just like, I said, Lord.
And he texted me, we still recording? I said, oh yeah, I can come right on over.
And I was like, you said you was on your way.
Well, you didn't respond, so I thought we wasn't doing it. I wasn't even mad. I was just in my house, bop, bop,
Check
dee,
on your
bop.
friends. If y'all got plans and they ain't responding, don't wait hours. Check on your friends.
I'm
I
too
could have
laid
been.
back, man. I was just like,
Do
oh,
you
she
know how
must
many
be
times I've
busy.
actually almost died in this house?
I think a lot of people have almost died multiple times. They don't tell nobody. God know Adrian told me about the time she almost died on a gum wrapper being in her inhaler.
I almost died on my way to work one day because saliva went down the wrong pipe.
And while you driving,
And it was while I was driving. I was just like, oh,
I don't want to
God.
die this way. Like that day a bee got in my car and it was zzz in my face. I was like, Lord, if I die, please don't let me die from this bee being
Well,
in
did
my
I tell you
car.
about my experience with bugs?
You told me about that spider and I would have crashed and died.
What spider?
You said it was a spider. Are you
When?
driving? Was that me?
I think that was you. That wasn't me.
Because I've almost died multiple times behind the wheel.
Now, when the 6-year mistake was driving one day, a bee flew
And you
in.
jumped out that damn car.
I didn't jump out of it, but I did open the door while he was driving. I completely forgot that he was driving, and I swung that door open. So he's like, "You don't fucking open the door in a moving car," and I was just like, "Shit,
Girl, you could have rolled down the window. Why would you open the door?
it came in through the window. I thought it needed more help. It needed a bigger
What
space
if
to
a
get
car
out."
was coming on the side?
Look, I looked at my shoulder and saw a bee just chilling on my shoulder. I freaked the F out. It scared the living hell out of me, especially for somebody that's never been stung by a bee. In my head, that is going to be the most painful thing
It
I ever
really was. It
feel.
wasn't good, but it really wasn't that bad.
I don't know. And you know, the brain always makes you think things is gonna be a lot worse than it actually is gonna
The
be.
worst part is if you turns out you allergic and you don't know till you get stung.
Right.
That's the bad part.
Or the time where I was on my way to work and I was coming out my house and I got in my car. This is when I lived in my apartment. In my, for some reason, I never parked in my garage. Um, I get in my car, start the car, put the car in reverse, and then again, same damn shoulder. Look down, and there's the ugliest damn
Ah!
bug. I hopped. Now that I did hop out of that damn car, completely got out of
Why
it,
it's still in
and I was
reverse?
like, and then I was like, oh shit, the car's moving, the car's moving. Oh my god, I'm unhinged. I live life on the edge. It's okay. I'm surprised
I'm
people
on
even let me have a
the
license.
edge of
Maybe
glory.
Abby was on to something when she said she's terrified to drive with me.
You talk about me.
I really don't think my driving's that bad.
I think the same thing.
Girl, not with the weed.
This for the kids. It brings them
Well,
joy.
then leave it with the kids.
It's a habit now.
Nah. Anyway, friendship burnout. We are struggling. We're unhinged today. So just follow along if you can.
If you can. Anywho,
Oh, I can't stand you. Anyway, so what do you suggest people do when they have friendship
you know my
burnout?
suggestion saying communicate. Just ask, like, hey, I noticed this isn't, because that's what I did. I communicate with. I was like, so what's going on here? What is your goal? What is your plans? What are you doing?
Well, I agree. I think the number one thing, and
That
as
really
we
could solve it all if you would. And then if the other person feels like, well, you on BS and you feel like they on BS, y'all could just dissolve whatever y'all doing then. I
as
don't
we've
know.
said on this podcast before, I think the first step for anybody, if it's that big of a deal for
It's
you,
communication.
is to talk to them. If you care enough about it. Now, if you don't give a shit,
Let it
just
go.
leave. Um, but I went to Mr. Google.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's Mr., sometimes it's Madam.
Same thing.
Yeah. Um, and communicate was the first one that I didn't write down all of them, but that was the first one that I thought was
Mm-hmm.
the most important. And then it said set boundaries, which we did a whole episode on setting boundaries
Show
with your friend.
did.
It was the one, the art of not giving a fuck.
Mm-hmm. Set them
Um,
boundaries. And if they fall off, they fall
People
off.
severely underestimate setting boundaries, and people are not going to always like your boundaries, and that's
And
okay.
that's fine. And that's not just in friendships, that's in life,
That's
that's at
in
work, that's
life.
everywhere.
Friends,
Set your
family,
boundaries.
husband, wife,
And
boyfriend,
stand
girlfriend.
10 toes in that either. Don't be trying to
Mm.
backpedal.
Now that's my thing.
Don't
When
backpedal.
people set boundaries and they don't have consequences for the people that overstep them,
What's the point?
then what's the point of setting a boundary if there's no consequence to
If you
overstepping them?
go, I don't like that, and they go so, and you go, okay. You might as well
To
didn't even do
me,
it.
setting a boundary and not doing anything to people that cross it would be no different to me walking up to you and slapping you in the face and you not doing nothing about it.
Because that's stupid. Why would I do such a thing? I'm
Exactly.
like, girl, what the hell? Psh, what are you doing? Why you hit me? Then I hit you. What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. But if I was to smack you in the face and you did nothing, people like, push over. What are you? What's going on?
I would wonder about your brain. I'm like, you all right? Why you just letting people hit you? Are you
And I wonder
okay?
the same thing about people that don't set boundaries or people that do set boundaries and do nothing about it when people cross it. Then
But you know how I feel about people pleasing. I ain't gonna bring it up again. I ain't got time for the hate
people
mail.
pleasing is
Manipulation.
manipulative.
Why the robot voices? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Um, but you
But
know my thoughts on that too. I'm not saying that I completely agree with that,
you know how we ain't
but
even gonna touch this
I'm
again.
not saying that I completely disagree with that either.
Because it's like you value how they feel about you more than your own personal well-being, which is bananas to me.
Which to me,
Which
then,
is
if you're going to be
bananas.
a people pleaser, then don't even bother setting the boundaries.
Just let them do what they want to do. That's what your plan was anyway.
If you gonna let people walk all over you anyway, just for the sake of
Just wear a
pleasing
rug
them,
on your back and go on about your day then.
and make sure it just says welcome. Like,
That's your fault. So,
if you,
but I'm not gonna downplay. Some people, it's an emotional thing, it's a
yep,
trauma thing. I'm not gonna downplay. But for the people who know, like that, the thing is, a lot of people that do it, they know better. They're just not doing better.
I think a lot of time, now my personal like serious opinion on people pleasing, I think is more of a self-esteem issue than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it's in, and if it is manipulation, I don't think it's an intentional thing. And when
See,
I
I
think
never
of,
said it was
right,
intentional. I
but I
said that's
just,
what you're doing now.
but I think the reason so many people had a problem with what you said is because when you say manipulation, people feel that that's an
It's
intentional
an yeah,
thing.
it's
And
and that's not it.
I'm not, if,
Because manipulation is also trying to control a situation more than just, oh, I'm gonna try to get in people's mind and fuck with them. That's not always what it is. Like sometimes you're just trying to be in control of the situation, and that is the way you think is how you can be in control of the situation.
yeah, so like
And that's
I don't completely see people pleasing as manipulative, but though I do see why people would see it that
and
way.
boy, they got mad.
Man,
But
it's okay. We both got one. They was mad at both of us at one point. It's
girl, they
okay.
gonna be mad again.
People was mad at Jesus too.
Sure was.
Um, Evaluate the quality of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, my personal opinion is the main difference between a friendship and a
Mm-hmm.
romantic relationship is the fact that you having sex with this person in intimate
That's really the only difference,
situations.
honestly. It
And it's
really
like,
is.
I think people should start approaching their friendships
Take it more
more
serious.
like they approach
Yeah.
their
Take it
romantic
more serious.
relationships.
Take it more
When you have
serious.
a issue with your romantic partner,
You
you
talk it
go talk to
out
them, you go give them opportunities.
to
Why aren't
fix
people
it.
doing it with their friendships? If they are just as important to you as your romantic partner is, or important to you at all, why not go talk to them?
Because the point of talking to them is to work it out, not just to hear yourself talk and vent your frustrations. That's really not the
But
point.
I said that all to say, because we evaluate our relationships all the time. We're evaluating our relationships. Why we don't do the same thing with friendships? With friendships, we're more likely to be like, okay, well, it's done.
And
But it's
then
like,
why?
but
They deserve the same
exactly
amount of
why?
respect.
Exactly,
I
they
feel
deserve
that
the same
way.
amount of respect. You should evaluate
Friendships
your
are
friendships. You should
emotional
evaluate all
attachments.
your
They are.
relationships, because at the end of the day, we're human, and
We
every day
need
we're
kinship.
changing.
Yeah, we need kinship.
Because me, I'm saying just evaluate it from the simple standpoint of human beings are meant to change over time. Maybe the relationship
Has
just
phased
isn't,
out.
yeah,
It just
maybe it
did.
hasn't grown with you, and that's okay.
It
But
happens.
you need to evaluate your friendship.
Some friends only for a season.
And we said that before too.
Some
Some
of them are
friends are for a
lifelong and
season.
some of them are just a season. And it be like that sometimes.
And then the last and final one, which I think should be the last thing you do,
Resort. Like Zach.
is is distance yourself
uh,
from the friend. And I will add a caveat to that. I think the last step should be distancing yourself from the friend without communication. If you're going to distance yourself from your friends, especially people that you've been friends with for years,
you should
that
communicate
you should probably let
what you're
them know that you're
doing.
going to distance
I
yourself.
I really don't believe in just ghosting somebody. Like friendship, like what Zach did, there's nothing wrong. But I feel like he could have been like, "Hey, I think you're a little too clingy. It's making me emotionally uncomfortable. I think we should just stop communications." That to me, and
And she probably would have handled that a
I
lot
think they would
better.
have took it a lot better had Zach be like, "Hey, I know we met in this group because of emotional issues, but I think you maybe need some more work in that area, and I think I'm gonna distance myself because
And I don't think I'm helping.
I don't think I'm helping your situation. I think I'm adding to the
And to me,
problem.
that's him being a friend.
Yeah, if you really were, because
It's okay to distance yourself
I
from
think
your
Zach
friends
really
if
was
you've
their friend.
evaluated that friendship and it no longer serves the
Mm-hmm.
purpose, or it's just becoming a toxic friendship. I think it's okay to distance yourself, but I think you should tell that
Communicate that
person,
distance
like,
though.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is the issue I'm having. Because maybe they don't even realize that they're doing it.
which is crazy, but sometimes people don't.
Sometimes
You
people
like, how
don't.
you ain't realized you been using me for a year and a half, but
How you ain't realized that every time we go somewhere, I'm paying?
and we both showed up with a purse. But
But yeah, I'm just like,
uh,
yeah, just it always comes back to communication. I feel like the world just lacks so much communication.
well, it's like people feel like transparency is a crime these days.
I
And
want
like
to be
you
transparent. Whatever
can
you see is what you gonna get. I don't want you thinking and guessing about how I feel about something.
it's so much
You gonna
word.
know.
But people do, they spend all their time guessing and ruminating in their own mind situations,
But
and no one's talking to
I also don't
anybody.
want to spend my time thinking and guessing on what other people are feeling, which is why I don't hang
Mm.
around a lot of people, because people just expect you to know how they feel and know what they want without actually communicating what they want and how they feel.
And
And
it's
I'm like, then
annoying.
how the hell am I supposed to know?
How am I know you hungry if you don't tell me you hungry?
Speaking of not communicating what they want, I was talking to Nate yesterday about that one short that got almost the 10,000 views, where I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, the friend, I had a friend that invited me somewhere, but well, she told me about her plans, and then I'm
Yeah,
supposed to just know that I was invited, and how everybody was like, "Oh, you're such a terrible friend," and
which was crazy to me.
because of course you were invited. And I stand on this. At this point, I've asked everybody I know how they would handle this situation, and Nate literally said the exact same thing. How are you supposed to know you're invited to that? She never actually said, do you want to come? Can you come? And then he brought up the other thing that I said, and he was like, she never asked you what your plans was that day. I said, exactly. Never once said, hey, do you have anything going
Do you
on?
want to come? Can you come?
And I was
Like,
like, and I'm supposed to be the mind reader and just know.
to me, it's very passive aggressive. I don't
It's
like
very
it. I
passive
don't
aggressive.
like it.
And that as here's my thing. I hate when people put expectations on me and don't communicate those
Cause how am
expectations.
I
Cuz how
reaching?
am I supposed to know? I am not a mind reader, and I'm not that vain to think that every time you
Is
tell
it?
me
And
about a
that's
plan
and
that
that
I'm
was my
supposed to
thing.
show
And
up.
that was my thing. I was like, how self-centered do you think I am that you think anytime anybody brings up anything to me, I'm supposed to assume that I am invited because somebody mentioned that. Like I said, my friend, like, yeah, I'm getting a wax today at 10. Okay, what time we going?
I'm like, what you
Who
mean
invited you to
we?
my
We ain't
wax?
even going to be in the same damn room. What are you talking about
I just
we?
let we I was just doing
We was just
conversation.
talking.
And how are you to know that that's wasn't?
Now I could see if she said, "Oh yeah, my graduation is this day." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm definitely
But it's
coming."
like she had other friends that weren't you. Why would you assume?
I was like,
I
"Okay, I
don't know why. I'm like,
will."
what? And
Okay.
the thing is, why should I be playing 20 questions to figure out what's going on? Why
To
can't
figure
you
out
just
what
tell
you want.
me?
To figure out
Just
what you
tell
want.
me.
And that's one of those situations where you need to evaluate the friendship, cuz maybe we're not a
Yeah,
match.
maybe our communication styles are different, and this
Maybe
ain't gonna work.
or at the we're just not a match. Sometimes you're just not a match. And that's okay.
It happens.
But yeah, I thought it was funny that he also was like, I would have told. I said, if your friend texted you that, if your friend texted you and said, I'm going this place on this day at this time, and even was with
Hmm.
with these people, I was like, what would you say? And he said, I say, okay, have a good time.
Me, it would be the emoji with the sunglasses and some beans
Cool
for me to say
beans.
cool beans. Good for you. I don't know what else. So I don't, that seemed like a good
Tartar
movie.
sauce.
That seemed like a good movie.
Your ass
You
is
it.
funny.
That seemed. I'm like, that movie seemed all right. Tell me how you like it. Like that. That's really where that would go. And I'm not self-centered to go. Oh, she's inviting me. I don't assume. Assuming makes an ass of you and
You and
me.
me.
I don't assume anything, and it's crazy for you to think that my big grown ass should be assuming that you invited me somewhere. That's crazy to me. If you wanted me to come, you could be like, "Hey, I'm going to move. Do you want to come? Are you available to come?"
So let me ask you this, because we actually said in the last episode that we was going to talk about this, and I want to go over it real quick
Yes, yes,
to
yes.
see what your thoughts on because I actually haven't had to do this before. What advice would you give people? Because I also see this question a lot on the interwebs.
Interesting.
How would you end a friendship? Let's say you had a friend that was y'all been friends for like 8 years, but the friendship, as they say, is no longer fulfilling or supportive. How would you end the friendship?
I would say it'd be like, hey, I feel like things have not been the same. Like, what's going on? And if they go, oh, things have been the same, I'm like, well, I guess I want different things from my friendships, and I guess it's. But if they say,
And
you know
see,
what, but then if their rebuttal is, oh, I can work on that, I can fix those things. Well, okay, we can
I don't even
try.
know if I want that because
It
I don't
depends
want
on the
nobody
situation,
changing for
though.
me. I don't want nobody changing for me.
Because for
Change because that's
me,
what you want to do. Don't change for me.
if I in the first, it's not about personality. It's just about what you own. It's not like if I invite you somewhere and you leave me on red, that's not a personality thing. That's just you being a butthole. Either you want to hang out with me or you don't. Cause I make a new friend. I ain't got time.
So for me, I agree.
I think it depends on what is
I
the
think on how much
problem.
you care about the friendship because again, if you don't give a shit,
Hmm.
just leave it.
But I
But
still
if
would
you
have a
do,
conversation.
I think step one should always be a
It dang
conversation.
near will be an
And
exit
I would
interview.
start it off in a different way than you. I would actually just simply ask, how what are you getting from this friendship? What are we like what is this friendship providing for either of us? Because and then I get into it because I'm
I would just, you know me, I just get into it.
yeah,
So what's
I
going
just get
on?
in. I start with the question. I'm like, here's why I'm asking this because I notice when we hang out,
Hmm.
it feels like you are somewhere else.
Where you at?
You ain't never, we ain't kikiing like we used to be. It's all serious. Like,
At this point, it's a job reference. What are we
yeah.
doing?
And you know, we don't go out with each other no more. We don't hang out no more. Like, I'd say what the issues are. Cause maybe that person doesn't realize
Now, I just
that
start
they
with the
doing.
issues. Like, hey, this is what we used to do. This is what we doing. Is there a reason why this has changed?
Hmm.
Do you not want to be friends? What are we doing? Basically, exit interview. Like,
Exit interview.
what are we doing here? Do we want to fix it, or are we just gonna let it fizzle out? Like, what are we
So what do you think
doing?
about the people that do just fade out? Don't say nothing to the friend, just leaves.
Well, they didn't value the friendship. I feel they never. If they literally just disappeared, y'all didn't have
Ooh,
any sort of conversation.
I actually wanted to go over a comment that somebody put on one of our shorts
Which comment?
today because it was really good. It was a short about and the name of the short was why are you so afraid to speak up about your problems? And
Okay,
it
okay.
was talking about speaking up about your issues with your friends. And in it we were saying you need to talk to your friends.
It's hard.
If you
All we
have an
say is
issue with the way
communicate.
if you have an issue with the way your
Hmm.
friends treat you,
Say something.
say something to them. So he says, I agree, but devil's advocate here, there's no incentive for honesty anymore. uh for instance, dating. Most people have IG. If you have a disagreement with your partner, you don't have to understand them anymore or even try. There's 10 other of them or 10 other prospects in your DMs feeding into negative habits instead of inspiring you to grow like your partner may be. Same thing with the job. At the end of the day, you're replaceable. This is a greater cultural issue than micro sociological perspectives. This is rooted in a modern society wherein it's often cheaper to replace something than fix it. Why fix the screen on your phone that works fine when there's a new version out you can get for free with your contract? It's new equals better ideology. It's why if you don't have the newest this or that, you're considered a brokey instead of a fiscally responsible person with goals. Modern art even highlights this with the popularity of Squid Games asking the question, do we even matter? I haven't seen it yet, but there's a new movie called Mickey 17. I believe touches the same topic, same points of societal contention with the replacement of human beings in the facade of endless options. And I thought that comment was super interesting because I'm like,
See, my brain feels differently about it. See, while there are many other options, who said that they're good?
exactly.
Who said
So,
that? But the thing is, just because you see the options doesn't even mean they're available to you. One, that means you see them. That doesn't even mean they're obtainable things for you. That means they're out there. That don't even mean you can get them. But I get what he said. Like everybody feel like, oh, just move on, and it's
but we
like
we do,
we do.
I responded to
I agree
him,
with him. I
and
do.
I told him, one, I love this comment, and if he's watching this, is Mr. Artbane, um, and I said I love this comment. Asked him if he mind I use it on the podcast. Now, granted, he never responded, but I'm gonna use it
We use it
anyway.
anyway.
Uh, uh, I said I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I think Jade would too. And I said, but Cliff Notes. Ultimately, I think you're right. I said society has moved to a point where if a person or a thing causes the slightest inconvenience for them, they throw them away like trash. However, there are still people out there willing to put in the work for someone they care about. I can only use myself as an example, but I still have the same iPhone that I've had for I don't even know how many years. And I said, why? Because why do I need to get the latest? This one works and it feels like spending unnecessarily. If I want to waste money, I could waste it on something I'd enjoy a lot more. And I said, for friendships, I've lost a
Mhm.
bunch. But before they end, I always reach out to see if there was something wrong because I value my friendships. I've stuck around with a job for way longer than I probably should have because I wanted to give them a chance to address my concerns. Same thing with relationships. Yes, people will tell me I'm wasting my time, but I believe that if there are problems, I need to tell people and actually give them a chance to address them. I say all that to say there are still exceptions to this replacement. There are still exceptions in this replacement society.
Mhm.
However, I also believe if someone is willing to drop you from their life so easily,
They never
they
can.
were never
Mhm.
really for
In your
you
life in
in
the
the
first
first
place, they
place
really weren't
and
even
don't
there.
deserve to be in your life.
But then also it depends on the mindset. Like if they really are in tune with you, y'all will feel the same way about
Yep.
stuff. If y'all really are in tune, I would not befriend somebody. And don't talk about people forget the fine line between replacing objects and replacing people.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
not the
completely different.
same thing.
But
It's
people
not.
treat it that way. I've seen people just drop people just because
You
they
snore too loud. They ain't
yeah.
like it.
Or just because they wanted this color something and they got a different color. It's like, come on now. Don't be like this.
And I wouldn't be close friends with nobody like that. I'm like,
I truly feel that,
you
yes,
obviously
I will
got a
ask
few
my
screws
friends what's
missing.
going on if they start distancing themselves from me, and I truly don't know why. But at the same time, if I got a friend, and you know I had a friend that I was friends with for like 10 years that just stopped talking to me. And I did reach out to her. Hey, something going on? And you know the response I got.
Mm.
We good. And I was just like, you know what? If somebody is that okay with dropping somebody from their life that they've been friends with for that long, they never deserve to be in my life in the first place.
But I get what he's saying though, because a lot of people do have that mindset that anything is easily replaceable. But it's like I said, just
I get
because
that.
you have
But
the
that doesn't
option
mean
don't
you have to
mean.
deal with it.
Yeah, I'm like, but then that's where boundaries come into play. Like, okay,
And that's my boundary.
somebody feel
If
like
you
that you're
willing to drop
replaceable.
me like I ain't nothing, then I'm gonna be nothing to you.
Because at
Go
the end
over
of the
there and let me
day,
be nothing over
don't
here.
try to come back when you realize the quality that's like there
Hmm.
might be more quantity, but that don't mean it's better quality.
And I think other people should have that same mentality. If you care about your friendship and you feel like your friend is distancing themselves from you and you truly don't know why, reach out to them and ask them. It don't
What's
have to
up?
necessarily be on the friend that's distancing themselves to communicate that. If I'm distancing myself to you, it doesn't have to be on me to tell
First of all,
you
I'm petty.
why.
I'm like,
You
hey,
could you could reach out and be like, girl, what's going on? I ain't heard from you in like a week.
don't make me come over. My response, you dead?
Yeah, because how I'm gonna respond
If you don't
if I
respond, I
am.
know you dead. That's how that
And
goes.
your ass ain't gonna come over here. You
Yes,
just
I will.
no, cause your ass be like, I ain't about to see her ass in there dead. I'm gonna call the police to go do a wellness
Yeah,
check
and I'm
on
gonna be
her.
with the police.
Y'all go in first.
Hmm.
Tell me what's in there.
Told you all I have is tears and a 911 call. I told you
But
that's all
I'm
I
just
got to
like, I
give.
truly feel like if people truly value the friend, if you
They'll
feel
put some
your
work
friend,
into it.
it is on both sides. If the friend that is distancing themselves, they don't have to be the one to reach out to you. But
They
if you
don't.
notice it, you can also say something to them. Be like, hey, I noticed something seems a little off. Is
What's going
everything
on?
okay?
We all right?
Yeah.
We still friends?
Give them the opportunity to tell you something. And then if they respond similar to the person that I was friends with do,
Mm.
nothing you can do about it. You did what you could do. You tried to figure out what was going on. Now, and I truly feel people should do this. If they can drop you that easily, you
They
should
was
be able to
never
drop
your
them just as
friend.
easily. They don't deserve to be in your life.
They didn't value the friend. You was valuing that shit by yourself.
By your
Just
damn
by
self, that
yourself.
one-sided friendship again. How many people out there? I want to know this answer so bad, and I really hope people answer the questions.
Will they?
How many people out there feel like they are in a one-sided friendship, and why?
I think it's more common than people
I
want to
think
say.
so too, but I don't think a lot of people
They
want to
won't admit
admit
it.
it.
Damn it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people want to admit it. Because if you admit it, then it kind of means you need to do something about it.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked that. We
That was a
started a little
nice,
rocky.
that was a good, just nice, thoughtful comment.
We started a little rocky with this episode, but we got it together in the end. Um, but yeah, all of these things, honestly, the setting boundaries, evaluating the friendship, you can do all this stuff
Hmm.
beyond a friendship, and I would
Just
highly recommend
in
it. It's
life,
just
those are
in
just
life.
skills.
And in my opinion, all of these things teaches somebody how to truly love and value themselves. Set boundaries, because everybody is worth more than the BS that they be putting up with.
Yeah, and in this world, the BS coming from everywhere.
Everywhere. We dealing with it at every
Child,
angle.
monkeys
Don't deal with
throwing
it in your
caca
friendships.
everywhere, and you just ducking. That's the life
Yeah.
we live.
It's like, no, catch that shit and throw it back at them.
We all throwing shit today.
Cause you think you gonna keep throwing shit at me and I ain't gonna turn it around. Huh.
I'll get some gloves. We just gonna be throwing shit.
Like, come on now, don't do this. But yeah, so I think this was a good episode. Good time to end it.
Yes.
So as per usual, thank you everybody for hanging with us, for vibing with us. Got my little I love you sign up.
Girl, I was like, what is that?
Apparently it means
Okay.
I love you. Do,
Girl,
do,
I didn't know
do,
what was going
do,
on.
do, do. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you to all of our followers on our socials, our
Yes.
subscribers on YouTube, and all of our followers on our audio platforms. I actually realized we have 13 followers on our audio
Look at
platform,
us
which was
moving
really
up.
nice.
Lou's is moving up.
But
Thank
if
you.
people would really please check out our audio versions and leave us a review, if you please, that would be greatly helpful and appreciated, because we've since learned that Apple, the more reviews and ratings we get on Apple, the more they will actually push our podcast out. So we could really use that engagement on those platforms.
Please
if you
and
please.
thank you.
Other than that, we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye, friends.
Deuces.